was literally on Instagram today. I found so many new Instagram pages that really inspire me. I've been so intentional about like following pages that are inspiring in terms of like Black love. And I was talking to someone recently and I heard them say that they were over representation. Like they don't want to hear no more about representation. But honestly, it's so important because when you think about Black history, but you even just think about Black people and just how we are only allowed a segment in the media, and a lot of times it's a very negative segment. A lot of times it's a very uninformed segment, and not just for the world, but even for ourselves. As I continue to learn and grow and expose myself and like get in better environments, oh my gosh, it's like my mind is being renewed. So I was really coming on to share this amazing Instagram page that I found. I have to share it with you guys because it's just something that just like literally makes me smile. I'm sitting here smiling ear to ear because I just love everything that I'm seeing. And, so the Instagram it's a nonprofit, but they're like an award-winning nonprofit. So it's so inspiring. It's called The Black Man Can. And I'm saying it again. It's called The Black Man Can. And I absolutely love this Instagram page. It is so inspiring. I've seen content creators on there that I even follow in my own life. And just seeing the stories and the beautiful testimonies and the love and Black women being loved correctly. And it's just really something that just really renews your mind and brings you so much joy. And like, honestly, I'm like sitting on my couch and I'm like jumping for joy at the proposals and I'm over here screaming and I'm excited as if it was like happening to me. And it's just so amazing just to see, because I just think oftentimes, we don't really hear too many positive things, unfortunately, because the media has a way of broadcasting that. But to be honest, I do think representation matters in that sense in terms of like media broadcasting. But this Instagram page had a little over like 1 million followers. So honestly, I think if you can just kind of like get to that place where you seek and you shall find, like I think that's more so like the MO. But honestly, I'm literally just so happy. Like I'm literally sitting here smiling ear to ear and I'm just like, wow, like this is so beautiful. I mean, from the beautiful families to the dads and the moms and seeing the beautiful homes, seeing the doctors and just so many amazing things. And it's just like, it's so mind blowing and it's honestly so refreshing. I tell you guys this all the time, like where I grew up and where I live and where I grow up, where I reside, it's not something that's impossible. I think, again, as I continue to grow, I feel like I'm entering more spaces of like Black people who are successful and who are like, purposeful and doing really, really great work. But I don't think it's something that is, it's not very common. You don't really see that a lot, especially in regards to Black men. And it's really sad. There was a event that they did. Y'all, I'm really getting into this Instagram. Like when I say I just love it because honestly, y'all know I love Black men. I do. I don't think I've ever like disliked Black men. I'm only attracted to Black men. Like I never saw myself really, really like with anybody who wasn't Black, just because for me, it just doesn't really give that. Like, I just think for me, it's like, I love Black. I'm Black, and I never really struggle with, self-hate in terms of like wanting to be white. And let me just sidebar on this, because I found for a lot of people who grow up and the only representation they have is that Black people, it's struggle, it's this, is lack of education. Like, I made a comment, I was talking about, why relationships are failing, and it was a 2 cents and there was some relevancy there, but a lot of times we just make the worst assumptions about each other because of what we're surrounded around. Like, I say this all the time. A lot of us grow up in the hood. We're coming out of these impoverished communities. So, it's a lot of scarcity. There's not really a community where there's like thriving. And again, I think it depends on where you live. I always say I think down south is a little different than up north, up here. But it's just, it varies. But yeah, so, I was just sitting here and I was just thinking about that. And I was thinking about, for a lot of men who grow up and, let's say their past was what their past was, we don't really want to get into stereotypes per se. So I kind of want to be mindful of how I say this. But I do think that there are some people who never been in certain spaces and they want to get in certain spaces. And a lot of times they feel like the only way to get in those spaces is to kind of like assimilate and, be amongst white people or marry a white woman, or you know what I mean? Because they feel like Black people are just so, deprived and we're ignorant and we're ratchet and we're ghetto and our relationships are toxic and all these different things. And it's just, none of it is true. Honestly, none of it is true. And it's like just seeing how it's like, you look at the internet, you see just how crafty, you know what I mean? Like how crafty Satan is to like turn us against each other, and just how it's been going on in this country for so long. But it's like our love is real. It is alive. Okay. And yes, so this is just for anybody who wants to kind of renew their mind, see some positive imagery and representation, and also support a Black-owned business. This is a nonprofit, so I just think that's amazing. And this is great. Like, honestly, I love it so much. I love it so much. I'm just like, I'm so taken back. Like I said, it's so many different components that I feel like that just is really making me smile right now. Like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, literally, wow. Like, I'm just so happy that I found this Instagram page. So I just wanted to come on and share because, like I said, your girl's over here smiling ear to ear. I don't even know these women who are getting proposed to, who are being loved, in these videos. And it feels authentic. It doesn't really feel like something that's plagiarized. You know what I mean? It doesn't really give me like cringe vibes. Like, it feels very real. I'm just like rooting for you. Like, girl, I don't even know you and I'm happy for you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally so happy for you. And like, there was an event. That's what I was saying. There was an event. It was like a Black men floral or flower event or something like that. And it was just the coolest thing ever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love this. It was like an event where the Black men were having like food. The brothers were doing like flowers or something. I don't know. It was just so cool. And I'm just like, wow, this is just so touching. And then there's this video I shared on my Instagram story. There was this guy who got this girl's number and he was like super geeked. And I just thought it was so sweet because it's just like, wow, like, and it's funny because I feel like, growing up, you will always hear guys, when you talk to your guy friends, they'd be like, yeah, guys get sad. Yeah, we be this and this and this too, like how women do as well. And it's funny because it's just like, I think, you're around men and they're always masking their emotions. So it's like, you really don't ever see them in that space. Like, oh, I didn't know your feelings was hurt. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I didn't know that you were excited. Like, like it's so rare to like really see it. So it's like to just see them expressing it and like kind of peering into brotherhood, like obviously I'm on Instagram, but like peering into it through these reels and through this content is just like, it just makes me smile because it's like, it helps me really see Black men in a different lens. And like, you talk about listening to their advocacy in terms of their humanity and, holding space for their emotions. And it's so beautiful. Girl, I'm just over here. I listen, I'm over here like, this is my man, girl. I'm over here like, I'm over here ear to ear. So definitely check out the Instagram page. It's called The Black Man Can. It's so inspiring. I love seeing it. It just truly is one of my favorite Instagram pages. It's like the one thing that's really bringing me a sense of happiness these days. Not the only thing, but finding this Instagram page is just so cool. Like, and I've been finding a lot more Instagram pages as well. I talked about Black homeschool educators. Her, Mrs. Pam, she definitely has some really cool posts, but lots of resources on her page as well. But there is another page I've just followed, Black Wealth. That's really inspiring as well. So it was just like, yeah, there was a Black man actually. He just had 4 million in sales from his fleet company. So yeah, I'm not sure where you are or where you're listening. I think that for me, when I set out to create my podcast and like educate, I was educating from the space of what I saw and, the things that I felt like people needed to hear who were around me. So you never really know who's like listening to your podcast, but I definitely hope that you guys are getting something from this. I hope that if you did find yourself in a space in which where I was, you're able to grow and learn and like renew your mind and come to a space of like peace and harmony within your life and in your relationships, because I think that's ultimately the end goal, and I just think outside of the media, because, you guys, I talk about this all the time, this entire country has gone to great extents to keep us divided, Black men and Black women, to keep us down, to keep us disliking one another, all these different things, like keeping hate between us. But it's like when you realize that love is so real and it's very much there, it's just something that just, again, I'm over here smiling ear to ear because it's like, like that's the real thing and that's the realism of it. And that's what we want. So it's just like, it's possible for you. And yeah, so check out the Instagram page. This is like giving free promo, but I don't even care because I just think it's such a great Instagram page. Check it out. I hope you feel inspired. I hope you smile. Okay. I hope you renew your mind about the possibilities. Girl, I really hope that God renews your faith because, for my ladies in Christ, okay, so many Christian men, so many men who have a relationship with God. Like, it's beautiful. I'm telling you, it is going to literally renew your mind. You're going to be over here like me, smiling ear to ear. Peace. Thank me later. Bye.